When it comes to human attraction, especially romantic and sexual compatibility, the popular narrative often centers on physical features. But what if we told you that what most women truly value goes far beyond appearances? In fact, the science of attraction, when viewed through the lens of evolutionary biology, psychology, and emotional intelligence, reveals a much deeper, more intricate picture. This isn't just about body types or surface-level preferences. It's about how health, emotional safety, communication, and overall compatibility play a defining role in how women perceive potential partners. While physical traits may initially spark interest, it is the mental, emotional, and relational qualities that shape long-term desire and satisfaction. In this expanded exploration, we'll dive into the real psychological factors that shape female attraction, debunk myths, and shine light on what truly matters in intimate relationships. Chapter 1. Attraction begins in the mind, not just the body. The first myth to dismantle is the overemphasis on physical traits alone. While it's true that visual cues can trigger interest, attraction is a multisensory, multi-layered experience. For many women, especially in contexts involving emotional connection and long-term relationships, psychological and emotional traits carry significantly more weight than the superficial. Modern psychology confirms that attraction is often guided by subconscious patterns developed over a lifetime, shaped by culture, upbringing, personal values, and biological instincts. These factors intertwine to create preferences that are unique and complex. According to evolutionary psychology, humans have been wired to recognize signs of health, vitality, and reproductive fitness. But contrary to popular belief, these signs are not limited to exaggerated physical proportions. They include cleanliness and grooming, symmetry in facial and body features, posture and confidence, emotional intelligence and presence. These are cues that suggest well-being, self-respect, and social competence, which are far more reliable indicators of a suitable partner than any isolated body part. Chapter 2. Scientific studies on female preference. A number of scientific studies have aimed to understand what women find attractive when it comes to male physicality. But it's important to interpret these studies carefully. One such study, conducted at the University of California, explored preferences among women regarding male anatomy. While it's easy to focus on the statistics such as averages in size or shape, the deeper findings reveal something far more telling. Context is everything. Women seeking short-term experiences may report preferences influenced more by visual impact or novelty. In contrast, women interested in long-term relationships prioritize hygiene, health, personality, and emotional compatibility. The Journal of Sexual Medicine published research showing that the most consistent preference among women was for a partner who made them feel safe, respected, and connected emotionally, which increased overall satisfaction regardless of physical traits. In other words, the real metric of desirability wasn't anatomy, it was how a partner made them feel. Chapter 3. The power of cleanliness and health. Let's talk about something universally valued: cleanliness and hygiene. No matter how confident or physically attractive someone may be, poor hygiene is often a deal breaker. Cleanliness communicates much more than physical care. It signals self-respect, discipline, awareness of social norms, respect for others, comfort and health. In evolutionary terms, someone who takes care of their body is likely to be seen as a safe, viable, and dependable partner. This explains why many women report a preference for partners who prioritize personal hygiene and grooming over sheer physical dimensions. What matters more is the complete presentation of self, including how one smells, how one dresses, and how one presents themselves in an intimate setting. Chapter 4. Emotional intelligence. As the real magnet, studies across cultures show that emotional intelligence EQ is consistently ranked higher than physical attributes when it comes to female preferences in partners. So what does emotional intelligence look like in action? The ability to listen without interrupting, the ability to read emotional cues, managing one's own emotions during conflict, empathy and compassion. Being attuned to a partner's needs physically and emotionally. According to a study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, women rate empathetic, emotionally available partners as more attractive than those who rely solely on physical appearance. These qualities build trust, and trust is the bedrock of intimacy. In essence, the path to deep attraction often goes through the heart and mind, not just the eyes. Chapter 5. The Role of Communication in Desire. Honest communication is a vital component of attraction. In fact, the Kinsey Institute found that couples who regularly talk about their desires, boundaries, and needs are more likely to report satisfaction in their relationships. Why? Because communication builds psychological safety, reinforces mutual respect, creates space for emotional vulnerability, increases confidence in the relationship. For women, emotional openness and feeling heard directly correlates to feelings of desire and trust. It's not uncommon for emotional neglect to dull even the most passionate beginnings. Contrary to myths that physical appeal alone can sustain intimacy, the truth is that emotional communication is often the most potent aphrodisiac. Chapter 6. Influence of culture and media. The modern media landscape has created a distorted picture of what is ideal. From movies to magazines, and especially within adult content, unrealistic standards have been normalized. This constant exposure leads many men to internalize insecurity, believing they must conform to exaggerated traits to be desirable. However, when researchers at the University of Zurich surveyed over 1,000 women about what they considered important in a sexual partner, over 85% mentioned trust, cleanliness, and comfort over any specific physical feature. This proves that media does not reflect real-world preferences and often contributes more to anxiety than genuine connection. True attraction grows in environments where both people can be authentically themselves, without performance pressure or unrealistic expectations. Chapter 7. Beyond Biology, Spiritual and Psychological Attraction. An emerging body of work in psychology that shows spiritual alignment and shared values have a powerful influence on attraction. When two people connect on a deeper level spiritually, intellectually, or emotionally, their physical connection often becomes more meaningful. Shared belief systems, life purpose, and mutual respect can intensify intimacy in ways that raw physical chemistry never could. Women, in particular, report feeling more fulfilled when their partner shares similar life goals, supports their emotional growth, practices integrity in relationships, uplifts them spiritually or emotionally. This supports the idea that holistic attraction, mind, body, soul, is far more enduring than attraction based on anatomy alone. Chapter 8. Arrogance is key. Confidence is frequently misunderstood. It's not about loud bravado or dominating others. True confidence is rooted in self-acceptance, humility, and the willingness to grow. Women are often drawn to partners who display comfort in their own skin, calm assurance rather than aggressive posturing, a sense of purpose or direction, respectful presence in social interactions. When someone radiates inner stability, they naturally attract deeper emotional and romantic attention. Confidence without arrogance is magnetic. Chapter 9. Intimacy as a shared experience. Contrary to the idea that intimacy is about impressing the other person, psychology shows that the most satisfying relationships are built on mutual giving, presence, and emotional connection. Women often describe their ideal experiences not in terms of specific physical features, but in moments like being gently held after a long day, having deep, meaningful conversations, experiencing laughter, emotional safety, and shared vulnerability. These shared moments build intimacy, which in turn fuels desire. The body responds to how the heart feels, especially for women, whose arousal is closely linked to emotional and relational factors. Chapter 10: Redefining Masculinity in Healthy Terms. We at a cultural turning point where traditional definitions of masculinity are being challenged. Instead of focusing on external dominance or unrealistic ideals, the new masculinity centers on kindness as strength, emotional honesty as courage, commitment as power, mutual respect as the foundation of attraction. Men who embrace these values often find that they experience deeper and more satisfying relationships because they are no longer trying to perform but rather to connect. This shift leads to healthier dynamics, less pressure, and far more authentic intimacy. Conclusion: what women truly want. So what do most women truly want in a partner? The science is clear: cleanliness and good hygiene, emotional intelligence and attentiveness, communication and trust, confidence without arrogance, shared values and emotional safety, health and self-respect, presence, not performance. Physical traits may start the conversation, but it's who you are as a whole person, your energy, your respect, your emotional availability that determines whether that conversation becomes a lasting connection. If you're someone seeking to grow into the kind of partner women truly value, start by looking inward. Focus on your own emotional health, self-respect, and communication skills. That's where real attraction begins.